This is retarded what my cat is doing right here. She's gonna kill me in a minute, I swear. I was next to a llama, okay, and I was next to a llama, and I was next to a lamb, and I don't know if she smells the smell. I was also next to two of her babies, but look, just watch her. She's like gonna turn over. She's been really aggressive with me, and I have to cover up my that section over there because look at her. Look at her. She's like, oh, now she went to sleep on me. You see her? Look at her eye. She's like, there's something. She is so close to me. She's curled up. I mean, I wish I can show you this. She's just curled up on me, a little female cat. Let me try and explain this. I don't know what's going to happen here, but this is, I don't know if I should leave it here because maybe I'll have to pick this up. She is so cramped onto me, it's ridiculous. And I was next to the chickens and the ducks. There were no pigs this year. There were no ducks. There were chickens and llamas and lambs and a barn smell, an old smell, and I was on the grass and everything. And what do you think my cat sees? I mean, she's this cat, the instincts of these cats that I had, they're like, I mean, look at that. Look what my cat did this morning. She had an egg. Oh no, that was the chicken. You silly rabbit. Of course that was the chicken. The rabbits lay eggs. Anyway, she's so much into me, it's just, I've never seen like this before. I wonder what would happen if I go like this, hey little cat. What is she going to do to me, eh? What's she going to do? She is such a, this cat, where is she? She is such a cat. I know I'm wasting videos, and while I'm not looking to get a percentage of what's good and what's not good, it's just she was acting really weird. And if it's anything to do with those animals, oh my God, when you go to the zoo, well, it's not the zoo, these are farm animals, don't forget. Cats aren't stupid. Nobody's stupid. This is a matrix. Our thoughts, whatever we do, is memorized here, but they go up into a computer screen, and they get put away. If you remember to go up and get what you did in your archives, which is the past, or it could be the thoughts of the future, it's still the past. Anything yesterday is the past, even if you were thinking about the future. A little coffee for me. Tomorrow, what a day tomorrow, 166, 177, M&M. In fact, it's A-M-N, or it's R-Man. It's just a fantastic number tomorrow. So is it going to last for a day, or do we follow the candles that only burn out after the 10th day and then it's relit again? From the Jewish history, of course, because that's the way Matrix is hooked up. Now, you see, the Bible is part of the history. Now, when you say the Jewish history, it's not a Jewish person. Letters are created from lines that somebody decided to call a J. That's all. And somebody says it's a Jew. But maybe in Chinese, the word Jew or Hebrew, I don't know, means Chinese food or something. You know what I'm saying? So just get all these things out of your head. It's a system. We're in a system. There's a name on the system that obviously nobody else created but ourselves. It came out of our own minds from a certain period of time. The Torah was given to Moses. That means life was already here. We probably didn't even know Torah existed. Well, not Torah, excuse me, but the Ten Commandments. Like, they didn't exist. Boom. In the year 2350, Hebrew time, Moses was born. Or was that the time he died? I never can figure out if it's 2250 or 2350, but he lived for hundreds of years. But don't forget, what does it mean, 100? Who wrote this down? He lived for hundreds of years. All I know is when he went up to Mount Sinai and came back down, he grew old like 100 years. Give me a minute. A little bit more coffee. What's what? Right? Oh, you're not nice. You're not a good guy. Oh, part of the Bible of Jesus came after Moses. Did it come before? Who wrote it and what was it? How far back can we go between, like in Christianity? Okay, we'll start off where Jesus is. How long before Jesus was born was Christianity here? Does it come in with the Polacks? Does it come in with the Romans? Obviously, maybe it was Pharaoh. Okay, so there's so many things, and I don't know the answers. That's what makes me so dumb in these areas. What makes me so smart in these areas is to remind everybody we're all living on the same planet, but we're not getting all the rights and choices that everybody else gets. In which is it, let life lay as it is? Not anymore. Now that we know, we're supposed to make it right for everybody. Otherwise, we're not doing right. It's a game. What we're told in most games is somebody has to win. But not in this game. This is not a winning game. Anytime you win in this game is the more players and friends you have that don't need to speak to you for months and years, and all of a sudden they're still your friend, because you can't in this world be with everybody at once. You just can't. It doesn't work. It's not possible. And if it is possible, you're up on the stage and everybody else is listening to you. Only one person, because we only have 24 hours. So we do as much as we could. We try to accept whatever comes within the time of what we can't change. What else? What else is there? So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things. I came up with something that connects 1776, that connects 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, all the way up and up and up and up to 1,000, 995. I connected that. Actually, it's 985. Okay, because it's 9 and 8. Yeah, you can go 7 and 6. We're not talking about that. The 5 is what makes everything turn around. You know, if I just take my finger and just keep turning it, it'll be a straight line that created the circle that created that center dot of the straight line. The straight line is only a crisscross, and which makes it 4 pieces to a pie, because that's a whole. Unless you go to a triangle, you're talking about something else. You're talking about 3 and 1. If you're talking about 2 triangles, you're talking about 6 and 1, which is 7 in the center in the 5 position. You see a mug and David, okay? A mug and David. It may have 6 dots on the outside and points, and it has 1 dot in the center. But everything that is center, okay, is number 5. The other thing is this. If you really want to make anything out of this, I'm going to show you. I'm just going to try and do this quick. See the way I just followed the lines, and you end up with this. Now you got to follow this line. This line is on that angle, that angle, that angle, that angle, and just by drawing out all the angles. And then you have your X. You can turn it together is your face-to-face D. Okay, but don't forget on this. Right here is an empty space. You have dots and spaces. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have a total of 12. Put a dot in the center, which is position 5, area 7, which is 12, and you have empty spaces for 6 and 6 is 12. But now when you crisscross in the center, what do you get? We're going to leave it out. You notice we get 57, 5 and 7, 1, 5 and 7. So it's 1, 5 and 7 because the ace card always has their dot in the center, calling it the 5 dot area 50. Area 50 because it takes 10 times of to end up in that circle. I can't explain it. Can I really explain it? I could my way. Does it make sense at the end? Yeah, pretty much. What the public will believe, right? I've got 100 people watching me. I guess most of the public sees right through me. I see I got a lot here, and obviously just having 100, what's it called? Thank you for the 100 that are there, for whatever reason. I mean, that's your choice. You're there because you're there. That's it, the end. Are you there? If it had to be a number, are they there? Yeah, they're there. The reason, that's another department. Anyways, so now what we have is 5, 7. 3 by 19 is 57. 3 by 25 is 75, the Hebrew New Year next year. Why? Number 14. Why number 14? Because I'm just going to show you. I made 2 more lines. We had 6, right? We had 6. Now we have diamond, diamond, half, half. 6 and 4. 6 and 4 is 14. 2014, why? 10 and 10. It would be 20. 2014. 2012 is over here. 57, listen to this. The 19 3 times is 57. 3 by 19 is 57. 3 by 25 is 75. 3 and 3 is 6. 3 and 3 times 3 is 9. 9 and 6 is 15 equals 6. 25 times 3 is 75. 3 by 19 is 57, 75. That's 2015, 2014, 2015. 25 and 19 is 44. If you add the 5s, like I told you, like I said before, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, at the end, when you get to 90, it's the average of 5. You get to 85, it's the average of 5. 85 times 5, no, 88 times, is it 88? Let me, how come I missed it? 440 divided by 5 is 8 and 8. Is that right? 5 by 88 is 440. Wow, that is right. 440 is 88. What that means, okay, is we went 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and in order to get 88, how can I explain it? It's the average of the numbers that you have to go in order, like the first numbers, how can I explain this? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and when you add up, when you get to 40, so you're actually adding up 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. You add all that up, so when you get to this number of 80 or 90, okay, you have added up to 440 in numbers. Now the average, as for 5, because 5 is the choice that we're going A, B, C, D, E, then we throw it away, and we go F, G, H, I, J, and then we throw it away. When we get up to 440, and it equals to 88. 440 and 88, Barack Obama. 13 presidents later from Herbert Hoover, H and H, 88, running on Highway 93. Now, 88 plus 5 more numbers, okay, is 93. And that's the valley of the Herbert Hoover Dam, Barack Obama, 93, Las Vegas, Area 51 pass line in through the waters. The energies stuck in the sky or stuck in the water, but we will connect. The Bible says we start on fire. Oh, we do start on fire because I can see it. I can see the copper mountain, this earth, connecting to the energy of the sky. Once they've thrown enough barium chemtrails up there, aluminum, whatever, oxide, and this guy, Jerry, thank God, because he told me about, he says, there's so much of that shit going in the air, he says, soon we're going to be attacked by it. So now, is the egg any more blue now than before? Is it blue? Let's take it away from the screen and see if it's really blue. Can you see the blue? Let me put the water chicken next to it. You see white or blue? Well, you can say you see gray, well, it all depends. Okay, that's a blue egg, my friend. Now there were things I did not work on, and I'm falling behind. I'm not sure. I really didn't want to show anything. I just decided, like, if we were going to do a roast of a pig, wouldn't this be a good way to roast a pig? Anyways, this. Well, what is it? I don't know. I wrote it down just 2 minutes ago. Nobody told me what it is yet. Well, then how are you going to know? 1 second. He say, powwow, send up Indian circle. We must take Indian circle and go up to find. Indians say, smoke a bat. They weren't saying they were eating the bats, they were smoking bats. The Indians say, you want to speak up to the man in the sky. He says, you must open up your third eye. Don't you notice when you open a third eye? This eye you see in. Through here. Only through the sentence of this. You can see more with this. If you were born blind and you smoked this, you would be more intelligent than anything. Well, what is anything? What they taught you? The most intelligent anybody could ever get in this world, the most intelligent person that will ever be in this world, are those who never forget, always try to remember, and have a system that they don't forget. To remind themselves, and not to blind themselves with the actual truth of the being of is. Not to say to forget, not to say to remember, but the knowledge to have the, like at the end of every single word you speak, don't ever forget, you're better than no one. You try to be the in-between so you can succeed in this world without trashing anybody else. Sure, we all want to make money, but the game's over. Not only that, like George Carlin said, it's rigged. The game's over. Don't you know you cannot take do you know what they did to this world in order to increase the value to everybody? They gave them credit cards with credit. Then what they did is they gave them big eyes for big jobs, and then they lost their jobs and they owed all their money. Credit. What did they do? They made money larger than life. Then they opened stock markets, and they gave you credit there. And not only did they give you credit, they gave you a hope. Look, the stock's up to 180. The owners are making $1 trillion. Stock's up to 180, went up $30. You bought 10 of them, you made 300. But you're not getting any dividends. And when you do get a dividend, the actual amount you get of all the people that have invested in the stock together is not even close to the top 3 who run the company. And just because they have a lot of it, they made it all fake. The company's worth $10 million. They sold for $100 billion. It's not worth $100 billion. It's $100 billion invested. Now, slowly one side takes from the top and the other side takes from the top. This is not real money. You think? How many people owe money? I mean, I don't really owe money, but I do the way I feel because I've used somebody else's money, because that's the way it's really supposed to work. We're not supposed to create jobs. There's no such thing as creating jobs. There's such things as creating a society that can recreate jobs, but not to create jobs. You cannot replace, when a guy's 80 years old, he's not working no more. Okay? And let me tell you something, if we have too many babies in one area, right, you got to take more taxes. We got to pay for those babies. We're responsible for everything that happens. For everything that happens. We are responsible. And we can't say, hey man, it's my world, you can't have 3 babies, you can't have 4, this one should be 4. No. The end line is, the money has to be spent between us. What is it that makes us not poor but not rich, but the harmony of just the unjust evolution of the cost of living? But you're not creating new jobs. I don't like that I'm creating new jobs. More jobs for the people. Maybe we don't want any jobs. Maybe there's enough jobs. Maybe when all the money's coming in, it should feed us. The minimum, at least. Yeah, they give some welfare guy $500 a month. Who cares if he does drugs? Give him his apartment, okay? Give him 2 or 3 essentials, his apartment, his electric, and give him food stamps, and somehow a hope that one day he'll be able to go to work. But don't give false hope. Tell people we're making jobs. Hey man, we're making jobs in Asia. Everything comes from there. Why don't they work for themselves? We'll work for ourselves. But if they don't have enough land, okay, to feed, and how are they going to feed the people? Is that really true? No, so we move them into this area, and then we look at the vote and say, the more we move in, the more we give them a little bit of stuff, then they can vote for us. But then hey man, immigration, and you bring in the immigrants, and then you can't feed them because you complain. You bring them in, feed them. They're people. Once they're in, they're in. They're no longer immigrants. They were immigrants. They must have a 5-year whatever, or 8 or 10 or 12 years before they can actually fluctuate in here. Almost like the stream or the flow of the ocean. The stream, the flow, they move on in. You got to give it a little time before the flow runs in and becomes part of the difference of the new age. I was showing this off before, right? And I made it to the end. I didn't make these to the end. But this one here is like putting everybody on his back and running with the crown. Here's the legs. Yeah, we bring in all these people. What do we do? When, which day, and how many trillions of years will it take before there's not enough life? Will we live on the ocean on boats? Will the oceans disappear? You know, there's a lot of questions to be asked. It's 4:40 in the afternoon. Funny, eh? What else is there? There's just so much. There's so many, you know. The electrical center for Earth. The powers in the sky where you never thought it was, it's upside down. I don't know what to say anymore. 1776, 151 moons. That is incredible. That's incredible. Because this, 2 and 3 is 5, you have 5151. When you overlap each other, it becomes 6666, or 5 and 1 is 6, 5 and 1 is 6. 5 and 1 is 15. 15 is letter O. 6 is the fox. So right away you got fox in the word. And I don't know. Let me stop. Anyways, all about the blue egg. Raphael 70 to 86 in the constellation of Pegasus. There's more to come. I know I'm a little slow. Gotta go.